What do you do on a character edit? My name is Jean. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. In my 6 stages of self-editing, the character edit is the second round of editing. So you have done a structural edit and then you do a character edit. So structural edit means that you have made sure that you have all of the right scenes in the right order and that you are meeting genre expectations broadly. Sometimes you have had to make big cuts. Sometimes you have had to move a lot of things around. Sometimes you have had to take scene number 3 and scene number 17 and smush them together, but now they are scene number 11. So you might have to be moving a lot of things around. But when you drafted the story, the character went from being in their normal place to being knocked off course, rising and falling action until we get to a climax, and then the story drops off at the end into settling into the new normal. But if you took all of those scenes and rearranged them, that nice rising and falling action now probably is bouncing all over the place and the character is regressing and act like they're not acting the way that they need to. So we're going to go through the story on the character edit. You're going to make sure that this character is reacting in a way that makes sense for the new plot and the new structure, that you have the right number of characters, that you have characters who are behaving in a way that feels plausible. You probably had, especially your secondary characters, acting in a certain way to push the plot forward. You knew who your main character was and what their motivation was. You knew who your main villain was and what their motivation was. Everybody else is being pushed around by the plot. Now is the time to figure out who they are, why they are behaving the way they are, and make them feel consistent all the way through the entire story. Do you have the right number of characters? Are you introducing too many characters? Is your younger sibling the right age to make sense for the story? Do we need to have more characters on the page? Do we need to give your character a friend, someone to interact with? Is that best friend actually a love interest? Is that love interest actually just a best friend? We are doing all of that shaping. Now, there are a lot of people who hear this and they're like, I did that during my structural edit. Great, you get to skip this step. Or you have a lot less work to do on this step and you might be able to combine it with your world building edit or get a jump on some of the subtextual edits and the nuance edits and things that come later on. But character edit, and this doesn't matter if whether this is for TradPub or SelfPub, I think quality for both is exactly the same. Like you should be aiming for the same level of quality. And so I don't see there being any difference between structural edits, character edits. I don't see any differences there. And so you are making sure that you have characters that behave consistently, that their rising and falling action matches the new structure, that you are meeting genre expectations, that your minor characters are not just being pushed around by the plot, but that they feel like fully realized people as well.